Hello and welcome to another edition of The Big Question with me, Ian Pelham Turner, on ALB UK Television. Today I'm going to hear all about dating. Wow, what else can I ask for on a particular programme? So I have with me Annabella Rose, who is a dating coach.
I am indeed.
And doesn't she look fabulous?
Oh, stop it, Ian.
She's fabulous already. She's fabulous already. And we have Emre Ilkme.
Yes, correct, Ian.
Who is a dating coach and CEO of PELHAM TV. And you do your own live show called PELHAM Lifestyles.
PELHAM Lifestyles is our website name, actually. It's a dating training company.
Yep.
Excellent.
And
We
then
teach men actually how to be more confident and build successful relationships in PELHAMLifestyles.com. And PELHAM TV is our YouTube channel, actually, where we put a lot of free content, give them free dating advice.
Right.
So everybody can go PELHAM TV and
first
get their
question.
free dating advice.
Fire away.
First question, who talks more?
Me. The challenge is to get me to shut up, really, to be honest. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I know. Me and Ian have a competition. We'll have a talk-off. So I do a lot of the talking, but you do a lot of the coaching. We kind of combine it. It's a very interesting job.
I can imagine. Do you know, I think it is so fabulous. And to explain, viewers, we met in a coffee shop the other night. Here I am sitting down, and a TV crew comes in, and who is these two young, wonderful people, and I'm starting to talk to them because I work in television as well. Oh yeah, really. So all these things are going on at the same time. What did you feel, first of all, Emre, that was the necessity to create a program like this?
Okay, as I said, like in PELHAM Lifestyles, our aim to help men to become more confident and attract the right partner for them. So PELHAM TV actually came after that. So we said we need an outlet. The outlet should be YouTube, we decided. So we started to put free content on our YouTube channel, so where everybody actually can go and access freely, and they get their dating advice if they want to approach women. There you go. There's a content there, or if they.
And tell me, how many people watch your shows, and you've got, you know, how many are sort of, not contributors, but people who actually subscribe to your channel?
Well, actually, we have 85 million views so far.
Gosh.
We landed 85 million views, and it's keep increasing, growing and growing. And currently we have over 270,000 subscribers. So that is increasing as well.
Fabulous.
So we are aiming to reach 1 million subscribers very soon. And we're getting there.
Excellent.
Funny enough, when I joined, we had 17 subscribers. And then I joined...
Well, it's you then, obviously, isn't it?
Well, no, I think the one thing I will say, it's the commitment to a message that I think has been the best success, and it's great that so many people, because it's such an attainable outlet, so many people can go on it and find it, and if they just need that little pick-me-up, if they are looking for deeper advice, it kind of covers the whole aspect. And to be a part of it, I'm really pleased to be a part of it, because it is so rewarding and it's so different, I think.
And I know, because I've watched you suffer for your art, don't you,
Oh,
dear?
I suffer,
You
Ian.
suffer for your art, dear, don't you? Because there you were in the cold the other night. He's wrapped up nice and warm.
It's terrible. So one of the things on it, we do street interviews. That's kind of my main forte on the channel, where I'll go around, ask the general public questions, dating questions, get their advice and their opinions, kind of on point subjects. And of course, you have to look good when you're on camera, as you know.
Thank you so much.
Look at that, there you go. You have to look good, so I'm looking good, but when I'm stood outside in the cold for 3 hours, you have to look nice, but I'm wrapped up and I'm trying to be fashionable, but I'm also shivering. You get the front end of my grumpy coldness sometimes.
Well, sometimes, yeah. But I buy her a coffee.
There you go. Buy her a coffee, we make new friends, and we're all
And then
happy.
she's great. You know, it keeps her going another hour.
Well, I've been there as well. Thank God, I've now got ALB UK Television. I can sit in a nice warm studio, and wherever I want to be in the world, they just put it on the back projection for me, so it's fabulous. But I've done days when it's been freezing cold, and I've been trying to talk to, and no one stops for you.
No one wants to stop.
No one stops for you, and you've got that pleading look in you.
We have those days,
And
actually.
then finally someone does stop you, and they're the most stupid person you could ever possibly in your mind's eye.
That is one thing. It's the one-word answers. I'm sure you've had the one-word answers where you ask like an open-ended question, and they go, yes. And you as an interviewer, you're like, right, okay, would you care to elaborate? And they go, no. Well, that's the end of that interview, so we'll see you later.
Where do you see the channel going? And I know you've got lots of aspirations for yourself as well. So what are your personal goals? What are your personal dreams in television?
Well, our personal dream is like to make our YouTube actually eventually a mainstream. So where everybody actually can see. Why not, like, we're not in the TV, a TV show, for example. That could be actually our next stage with Annabella Rose, and we've got Eve Miles as well, which is, he's not here today, and he's another dating coach, and he's been with us for a long, long time. So actually that would be, it would be great to have a great TV show where we can actually show our skills and what we can do, how we can transform people's life. Can you imagine, like, when you are actually low in skills and you don't know what to do, what do you need first thing?
Yeah. I need a lot of help, folks. I need a lot of help.
You need mentors, you need coaches.
Always go for the
like,
sympathy vote with girls, you know? It works. What do you think makes a good coach, a good dating coach?
Well, it's actually a great question. I think that a great coach should know his own topic first. He needs to understand the dynamics of the psychology, female psychology, and as well as your client's psychology. Maybe one of the aspects of the dating is anxiety. A lot of guys actually, they feel anxiety when they're on the streets, bars, coffee shops, when they want to approach women. So if dating coach have no idea how to control or teach him how to control his anxiety, that job won't be done.
Yeah.
So like that is the first stage actually. If you want to approach the women you like, for example, on the streets, bars, coffee shops, the first thing is you need to control your anxiety. You need to be confident. You need to believe in yourself. You need that positive thought that actually you can be able to approach and you deserve it. So if you're lacking confidence, if you're feeling anxiety, and if you're approaching with an anxiety, you will install an anxiety. So you will technically will get blown off from the interaction. She won't listen to you because there's a misperception out there actually, Ian. People think that you need to look like a Brad Pitt or either Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a misperception. You don't need to look like that. Go any bars and coffee shops in UK. Look how people look like. Do they look like Brad Pitt?
No.
Do they look like Leonardo DiCaprio? No, but somehow we do date, yeah? So who these girls actually date then?
Yeah.
If they don't look like Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Well, they do date these confident guys actually,
Yeah.
who can be able to, they can be able to present themselves in the best possible light. They project that confidence. And when they approach with confidence actually, the other party, the opposite sex, they feel confidence.
Yeah.
So you install confidence. If you approach with an anxiety, you're blown off straight away.
Yeah. How do you think men see you?
See me?
Yes.
Oh, what a question. I always get the nickname of an alpha female because I know myself, and one thing I will say that does relate back to dating, I took the time to get to know who I was, and I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, I'm very authentic in who I am, and that comes across in in a dominant fashion because I know who I am, I know how I fare in different circumstances and different situations, so I'm always brave enough to put myself out there because I have that self-belief. And I think with that, men can vibe off that and they can feel it. Some get intimidated, I will say that, some do, because I think you do when anything is quite brave and quite confident. It can be quite intimidating for maybe the people who don't share that same confidence. But that's my view, is to be able to take a strong female figure and help educate men in what strong women are like. Because I think, especially with all female empowerment, we're all getting stronger as women and we're doing all that. And to be able to be part of coaching men to understand what an empowered female is and how they can still contribute to dating and how that relationship has morphed over time and what it can be now. To be involved in that, Love it.
I mean, the way I see it these days is it's a totally different environment for when I was your age. I almost see it sometimes like Battle of the Sexes. So I really admire the services that you are contributing to, because I think, how do you bring people together anymore? The thing that I look at is people don't seem to communicate anymore.
It's the downfall in everything.
It's all behind Facebook, social media.
Everything's so hidden now, and it's funny when you say Battle of the Sexes, because a lot of stuff that we do is, you can call it the pickup game. It's basically where you go out and you interact with people that you are interested in, and that can get quite mixed reviews on what it means, and a lot of people don't understand what it is, because I think I love the pickup game in the sense that because now women demand more, I think, from men, to be able to show that you're brave enough to go out there and approach somebody on the street in the middle of the daytime, that's a brave move. And
that requires a lot of confidence as
that's
well.
A lot of confidence, and that's what I think we need to be promoting, and that's what we tend to promote, is that confidence that you can go out there and communicate face to face, because so many people are scared of that now. And so many people that I meet, and especially clients, it's this kind of pathological shyness that has been cultivated through hiding behind screens and not actually being face to face. So to pull people out of their comfort zone and re-establish human connection and the art of seduction and flirting and you know, creating that intimacy face to face and being able to help people do that is really quite special, and it's something that I think, even though social media is great and it connects people around the world, it does just lack that human interaction, that intimacy.
Can I ask the both of you, have you both of you always been confident, or have you had to train yourself to become confident?
Well, I had to train myself. That's one of the part. I thought that I was confident, but actually you can be more confident. So I've done trainings in the past. So then after that, I decided actually I can teach this. So why don't I teach what I learned? Because it helped me, and I'm sure that it will help other people as well. So that's why Come Alive Styles formed. Actually, we teach people how to be confident. In 8 weeks, we can teach them the strategies behind this successful confidence, where you can actually approach anybody anytime and present yourself in the best possible light. And that's why confidence is very important, because when you approach somebody new, they do brand you based on how you feel about yourself the first time. And
That's
based on the
funny.
first impression.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They don't like say, okay, how much money this guy have first? They don't think the first thing. Or how good looking he is, you know, like is he good looking or not? The first thing they check how they feel about yourself.
Yeah.
It's the vibe.
Yes, then the look factor comes in.
It's strange you say that, because years ago I was dating, and I met this lady one night, and it looked like she'd had a bucket of water thrown over her, and so obviously she wasn't really. And the first question, she sat down. I always remember she sat down. The first question, she leaned across to me and she said, "How much do you earn?"
Oh my God!
So when you get situations like that, and that's really interesting, just to have an 8-week cycle to change around in. But did you have that confidence?
So I've always been an extrovert. I always have. I was very much into.
And you're a singer as well. So.
I'm a singer as well. You know, I dabble. Yes. So I have always been very comfortable being the centre of attention in shows and things like that. But I would say that even though it can be perceived as confidence, I've had moments where it's been my mask.
Sure.
And I've hidden behind my extroverted nature, and what was actually happening inside of me and how I saw myself was very, very different to the image that I was putting out. Yeah. And I think a lot of people do that nowadays. I went through it. I went through a really bad breakup, which I think really knocked me for 6, because I didn't understand. I'd given up. I'd changed my life to be with this person. I'd actually given up singing to follow this gentleman. Right. And when it all came crashing down, I lost my way and who I was. But from the outside, you wouldn't have been able to tell that I was any different.
No. Do you feel that you have to go through unhappiness to know happiness?
Yes, 100%. Because you can it's all about the peaks and troughs. You have to climb the mountain to appreciate the view.
It's like day and light.
Yeah, it really is. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of what happiness really is because they're not feeling that they're not really aware of how unhappy they may be currently, because I think people limit themselves on what they think they can accomplish, and they limit themselves to their emotional potential, their physical potential, and they put themselves in this box that they think is comfort, but actually it's trapping them from what they can be.
Sure.
And once you realise that, and once you take the initiative to actually look at yourself in the mirror, because I always think that's the hardest thing. You can. A lot of people will point fingers and shout at other people and voice their opinions negatively against everybody else. But to have the strength to look in the mirror and look at yourself and figure out where you've gone wrong, what your flaws are, and look at yourself in a microscope to then be like, right, I'm going to rebuild myself. That's real strength.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I'll come back to that subject in a minute, because I talk about mirrors and women.
Yeah.
Not a good move, I don't think, from men's point of view. Men look in the mirror, they may comb their hair, shave, whatever, and that's it. Women judge every day.
Every aspect, I've got like a magnifying mirror and I'm staring at my paws. I'm like, oh goodness.
Judge every day.
Yeah.
What do you think happiness means for a man today?
Okay, actually happiness description is a little bit different for everybody. Everybody has their own description, but there's some fundamentals. Like, for example, what makes you unhappy? If you're working in a job that you're not happy, you will be unhappy. If you're dating a girl that you're going to be unhappy with, if her personality is not making you unhappy, you will be unhappy. And if you're eating, for example, a food which is making you unhappy, you will be unhappy. So if you do things which makes you unhappy, you will be unhappy. Actually, it's about what you do. And it turns into emotions and it becomes a lifestyle. So in dating, for example, again, there's bad habits. Anxiety will make you unhappy in the long run because it will limit you. Confidence will make you a happier person. It won't limit you. It will help you to achieve your goals clearly. Once you have the confidence, actually, you can be able to do things because you will have the belief. That's the thing we teach in Karma Lifestyles, actually. If you want to approach that women, if it's the dating, if it's the goal, here you go. There's a confidence here. And then we put our clients into a residential training program, which is like, it's a 7 days long program, over 70 hours, where Annabella Rose and myself take them out day and night. Actually, bring them into the lifetime situations, real life situations, where we can get them approach after we build up their confidence. If you're quite confident, guys, you don't need to do a confident course. You can come in and do residential training and hang out with Annabella Arizona. She's going to get you to approach most good-looking girl, and she will come into the set with you, with the girls, and will actually help you to actually land that day on the spot.
No, I get that.
So that is the happiness actually in dating when you think about it. Getting what you want as a man, meeting the girls that you dream. Isn't that happiness, Ian?
Oh. Yeah.
Part happiness.
Yeah, well, it can definitely make you happy.
Part happiness.
I think it goes alongside that. I think it's being so comfortable in your own skin and to be able to understand that flaws aren't really flaws.
Sure.
I always say, because I'm single, just put it out there, and I know because I'm looking for something very specific, and I've always said I'm looking for somebody who's perfectly imperfect. And it's not about, and I think so many people feel under a societal pressure to be this perfect person in their work life, in their dating life, in their all of this. And you don't have to be, but if you know who you are and you're so confident in your authenticity as a person and can accept who you are as a person and how your history has molded you and what you've gone through to create who you are today, if you're comfortable with that, you can find happiness wherever you are.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
I know. I mean, I attract happiness wherever I go. If I'm really honest,
I'm having a lovely time.
I'm blessed.
I'm very happy right now. So yeah, it's working.
But let me drag you back to mirrors.
Yes, back to the mirror. Yeah.
Back to mirrors.
Yeah.
So my belief is that when women go through situations of re-empowering themselves. Let's call it that.
Re-empowering.
That's a pretty
like a
good
reset button.
It's a really good way of doing it. The thing that I always, when I'm talking to a lot of my lady friends, is to change this perception of can I to I can. And also at the same time that there seems to be a button or a light or a voice in a lot of women's heads, and it almost comes back from childhood, where they are saying you're not good enough, you don't ever assume to do too much, and so forth. And I think it comes, partly down to looks as well. I mean, for me, every woman is beautiful. I said to you the other day, you have the most beautiful eyes, and you do. You have the most beautiful eyes, and your natural way, which is great for people like myself as well, to be able to sort of interview with. And the two of you are great people to interview.
Thank you.
And I think, but did you ever have doubts? And if the doubts were, did you think the doubts came from childhood and you had to outgrow those doubts? How did you see?
My doubts. There are moments in my childhood, like I had a great upbringing. I was definitely didn't have anything bad that I know a lot of people have to go through. But it's funny the moments that if you look at them with a microscope that will define you. For example, I was bullied in school for being so extroverted. So people would tell me I'm going to just go into my life story. People would tell me to shut up. And then it took a very dark turn in which people were suggesting that I should commit suicide on a daily basis. And for me, it's a lot of my self-doubt will come from those moments that I felt so unnecessary and nobody wanted me and all of that. But it's funny when you flip the switch and you can use such an ordeal to actually strengthen you. Because now, I would say it's that what I went through is probably the reason why I've been so successful, because I looked it in the face and I went, oh no you don't. I'm going to prove you wrong. And it's being able to establish that mindset of instead of being a victim to the things that you've gone through, it's something that I admire about humans all over the world, every situation. It's their ability to overcome anything that's thrown in them just by that simple change of their mindset. And the thing is, changing that mindset is not always easy to do by yourself. You need somebody to be there for you and be like, you know what, I'm going to be your support system. I'm going to be your own personal cheerleader. And together, we're going to change the way that you view yourself, the way that you view the world, the way that society is, and we're going to make it also you come out on top. And it's that. And I was very lucky that, I think it was just because I'm really stubborn, that I was like, I'm not going to let them beat me, and I'm not going to let that define me as who I am. And so I came out the other side a very, very strong person because of it. But if you don't have that, that's a natural inbuilt trait of mine. If you don't have that natural trait, you do need help and support. And that's kind of where coaches like us, dating coaches, come involved to help you and build you up when maybe you're not feeling at your best. And like I said, I'll get the pom-poms out. I'll get that little skirt, I'll do the personal cheerleader.
Well, I'll ask that the next time. Have you had to fight adversity yourself in order to get to where you got to? So has that made you a stronger person?
Yes, absolutely. Like I lived in so many different cultures. There were so many things in it. But at the end of the day, I looked at in the mirror myself. You know what? You got them look good. Go and get out there and get the business done. So you have to take action. If you don't take action, nothing will happen. Those doubts will build up through the society, the social programming process will actually eventually will bring you down if you believe in what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing. So at the end of the day, you need to look at your own goals and look at yourself actually. What is the first thing do you need? You're a man of goals. If you're going after your goals, you need one thing. Figure it out what that one thing is. And if you're feeling low, that means that you need to build up yourself. Like you just said that like most of those I cans, does that come through the childhood? Yes, most of them. Like you live something, you build up a belief about it, and then law of attraction proves itself. Then you start to attract those type of moments in your life. So, if you're not changing your patterns, you'll get the same results. But there's the only one person can change this pattern, and you. So you have to take an action on it. And dating coaches like Annabella, Rose, and myself, we're a catalyst in the process. We create awareness in relation to the patterns which is holding you back. Like, for example, I was working with a 28-year-old accountant, and his one of the beliefs are actually, she's out of my league. And I told him actually, if you think like that, do you think that you could be able to approach the women you like in the streets or bars and coffee shops? The first thing he says, and after that, no, I wouldn't. So what is the first thing you need to do? Change it, Emre? And I said, well, spot on. So what am I going to think? Okay, let's figure it out. So by coaching your clients in this way, actually, it's like kind of collaborative relationship. You're a third party and you show the roadblocks. And once you clear those barriers, blocks, and your clients actually can be able to walk that success on his own. So we're just a catalyst in the process.
So really what you're saying is understand yourself first.
Yes.
Understand what the barriers are in your life and deal with the barriers.
Deal with the barriers.
Yeah.
And dating coaches like Annabella, Rose, and myself are catalysts in the process. We can be able to point it out those things. And then, of course, like there's more involved, the theory section. Then we teach them the theory, what to say, how to say, the body language. Especially Annabella Rose is great in female psychology. So she injects her knowledge to the clients. Once they hear from everything from Annabella Rose, it's a different understanding.
Yeah.
It's a different understanding than me telling them. So once Annabella Rose says, because like, who can give an advice better than a woman? Think about it in those situations. You're going to approach women and hear Annabella Rose and advice.
Of course. But I think that you have warmth as well. So that warmth comes through and so you're able to communicate. So can I just ask final question is, what would be your top tip for a man to find happiness?
To find happiness in this day and age, to turn off social media for a week and then figure out who you are without it. Because I think a lot of the time nowadays, there's a lot of voices and there's a lot of things that are being said, and I think people underestimate the power of social media and the way that it affects your mental health, the way that it affects your personal image and your self-worth. And you get very lost in comparing yourself to other people. Turn it off for a week. Live your life without it. See what makes you happy. See what makes you tick. When you're not in a coffee shop, you're not looking on Instagram, you're seeing the people around you, seeing how you interact with people and what you're then moved to do because you're moved to maybe talk to somebody next to you or say something because you're not involved in this online world. And the realizations that you'll make about yourself in that week will change your perception of who you are. Because it isn't being diluted down with what society expects or what you think society expects of you. You will change what you perceive as the way that you want to live your life and the way you actually are. It's very interesting. I think if anybody could turn it off for a week, it'll be difficult because people are always obsessed. It's such an easy thing to do just to get it out of your pocket on your phone whenever you go. And if you eradicate that, the amount of time you then have to think with your own thoughts as well, that will change the way that you see yourself and is the first stepping stone to finding happiness in today's world.
Guys,
get a real human connection.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the two of you.
Oh, thank you.
I feel blessed. I feel blessed.
Thank you.
You see, it's always good to go into a coffee shop and notice people.
Right?
Notice
I'm gonna
people.
carry this mic around all the
I'm
time,
sat
see
here.
what
I was sat in the coffee shop, and there's a couple coming with the camera, the microphone.
Yeah.
I think, oh, there's a camera crew. I'll go and
Yeah.
talk to them. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
today.
you for inviting us to your show.
No
Much
problem.
appreciated.
No problem at all. So everyone, what a fabulous couple to actually do it. And I think please look at them on YouTube as well. They give lots of very, very good advice. And hopefully we may be working more together in the future. So for me, Ian Pelham Turner, on The Big Question on ALB UK Television. It's goodbye for now, and have, like this couple, a great evening. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.